This is Joyce Jagger, the Embroidery Coach, and I want to welcome you tonight to how to create a niche market for your embroidery business. Now I want to start out tonight with a quote from Bill Cosby. I do not know the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everybody. And that is so true. Now there are two questions that many embroiderers ask on a regular basis about niche marketing. This is a term that is used over and over, and to a new embroiderer, this can be a very confusing term. What is niche marketing, and how do I find a niche market? Niche marketing is marketing your product or service to a certain group or segment of the population. By creating or finding a solution to answer a unique need in that segment, you can develop your entire business around that certain group or segment. How do I find a niche market? The answer is you do not find a niche market. You create a niche market. And it's hard to survive in today's marketplace competing for the same business that every other embroiderer is competing for. The average embroiderer starts out working in the corporate market, offering hats, golf shirts, t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, because this is the easiest area to start. And they soon find out that this is a tough market to compete in, and every embroiderer in their local area is fighting for the same business. You must find an area of the market that you can specialize in, one that other embroiderers have overlooked or aren't willing to service. In this way, you can brand yourself as a specialist for that specific market. Branding yourself a specialist in a specific market is very important. You can quickly become the leader in your chosen market, and you will have less competition if you market to a specific niche rather than trying to compete with the masses. Now I want to tell you how one of my students almost quit before she found her niche market. She was trying to market to everyone, which is a mistake most embroiderers make when they first get started, and found herself running in circles and could not focus on any one thing. She was constantly trying to figure out how to market to all of these people. She paid someone to create quite an elaborate website for her. In her website, she had one of those catalog sites that you can link to your site. She also had samples of her work, but there really was no way for anyone to order embroidery off her site. They could order the products, but they had to call her to place an order for the embroidery. She was paying this webmaster a monthly fee to host her site, and it was not producing anything for her. Long story short, she did not get any orders from that website at all. She ran an ad in the newspaper, and since she was basically the new embroiderer in town, it was doing nothing but costing her money. She was ready to give up because her business was costing her way too much money, and she just could not afford to keep up the payments on her machine. She called me and wanted to know what she should do and how she could go about selling her machine. Now, prior to this phone call, I did not know this embroiderer. She found me on the web and thought I might know of someone that could take the machine payments off her hands. Now, after listening to her story, I told her that she needed to focus her marketing efforts on a small niche and try that before she absolutely gave up. I asked her many questions and helped her put a plan together. Now, she had 2 children in high school, and I suggested that she go to the Booster Club president and talk to them about being able to market her products through the school Booster Club. Now, at that time, they had someone that was supplying t-shirts and caps, but that was all. And the t-shirts had been screen printed, and the Booster Club president told her to put a proposal together of what she had to offer. She created some samples with the school logo on it and created a small flyer with pictures of the items. She was offering sweatshirts with 3 designs, placket shirts, and a fleece blanket to start with. They loved the quality of what she had and asked if she would like to have a table at the school football games to see how that was received. She agreed to give the Booster Club 10% back of her revenue. Now for the first game, she made up a few samples to show the different options that she was offering and passed out flyers with pictures of her school spiritware. The parents loved the whole idea that they would have a place to go where they could order the items with the school's logo on it. She had a few orders that first time, nothing really great, but the parents started calling her from the flyers and waited for her at the games to place their orders. This grew, and they wanted her to come to the other sports events. She developed a market of selling spiritware through the school Booster Club. Since she decided to focus on this one niche, school spiritware, and placed all of her marketing efforts into this one niche, her business started to grow from there. From that, she got calls for all types of embroidered products from these same people, and her business really took off. Now, when you focus on one niche, does it mean that you can only work within that niche? Absolutely not. It just means that if you focus your marketing dollars in one niche, it will save you a lot of money trying to market your business to the masses. You are still getting the word out about what you do. And these same people that had children in school and purchased the spiritware all needed gift items for every occasion, and many needed corporate apparel for their businesses. Now you're asking yourself, okay, how do I develop a niche market? Now, developing your own niche market takes a little time and a lot of thought. You may already have a specific area that you're working with that you can expand on. You may already have a great deal of knowledge about a particular subject that would help you develop your niche. Now, you really need to put some thought into your whole situation. Now, the purpose of this is to get your creative juices flowing. Now, when I want to do some really deep thinking, I go to the park that's located on the river here in my area. Now, I sit there at a picnic table overlooking the river, and it really helps me to relax. And sometimes I go to a coffee shop and sit at one of the tables all by myself, and I can block out the whole rest of the world. I seem to be able to totally empty out my mind and come up with ideas that I can't come up with any other time, and it is such a great feeling, and I accomplish so much when I do this, and I always wonder why I don't do it more often. Now, here's some questions that I want you to ask yourself that will help to get this process started. In what area do I have a great deal of expertise? What is my favorite subject? Am I crazy about babies? Do I love horses, dogs, cats, specific sports? What is my hobby? What type of organizations or clubs do I belong to? What type of interests do my friends and coworkers have? What types of people surround me on a daily basis? What do I have to offer that my competition does not? Do I have tools that other embroiderers do not have? Look for subjects that interest you in areas where you possess special knowledge. Maybe it has to do with your former employment or some specialized skills that you have. Maybe it has to do with tools that you have that other embroiderers don't have, such as the clamping systems or the cylindrical frame set. You know, with tools like these, you can get into small areas of a garment and accomplish small tasks that other embroiderers aren't capable of doing with their tools. Now, many times a new embroiderer will have a hobby or a subject of interest that they have been involved with previous to their decision to start an embroidery business, and this can really help to get you off the ground. Get out and mingle. Join a lunch and networking group that introduces new business to the area, and talk to other people. See what it is that they want and cannot get. Go to trade shows of your interest, or even trade shows in the mall, but always keep an open mind. You know, just like the internet, where you start and where you end up can be something completely different. You can have a very narrow niche that can broaden, such as babies. Marketing to new parents can lead to marketing to grandparents, and this can lead to everyone in the family, and now your niche has broadened from babies to families. Can I have more than one niche market? Absolutely you can. I had basically two different market niches. One started with my children getting married, and the other one was as a result of acquiring a son-in-law that was a police officer. Now, the first one started when my son decided to get married, and I was trying very hard to find something that was very personal and would be a keepsake. And I wanted it to be a gift that no one else would give to the bride and groom. And I decided to give them a pillow with their name and wedding date on it. And before I could create the pillow, I needed a special design that no one else had access to. I came up with this one-of-a-kind design, embroidered it with my freehand embroidery machine because it was one of a kind, and then I made the pillow. Now the pillow went over so well that other people saw it and wanted one just like it. I then decided to have the design digitized, and that was the beginning of a lot of gift pillows, wedding pillows, mother's pillows, baby pillows, and it even grew into police gift pillows. Now to make our pillows even more special, I always embroidered the name of the person that gave it to them on the back of the pillow. And this was something that they would not be able to get someplace else, or at least not until someone else copied my idea. I visited bridal shops, department stores that had bridal departments, and little boutiques to see what was available. I talked to shop owners and department managers to see if they ever had any requests for personalized items such as pillows, and I showed them pictures of my pillows to see if they had any interest in them or knew of anyone that I could talk to that would in fact have an interest in what I had. I found out that there was a definite interest in them. I took my pillows to a catalog photographer and had some really great photos taken and created a brochure. I sold pillows to brides for their mothers. I sold pillows to mothers for the brides, and this grew into christening pillows and pillows for teens. And I still get calls from people that purchase my pillows wanting another pillow for a gift. My second niche market grew to be my largest niche market. Now my second niche market all started when my son-in-law was in law enforcement. He came in one day and said, "Mom, could you do this logo for me?" And it was his department's police logo. He was in charge of a large region and they were having a special training on boat safety. He wanted the department police logo on some golf shirts for his training that he and some other troopers were going to be teaching. And this was the beginning of a whole new niche for me. Each one of those troopers that were teaching that course were from other regions, and when they went back with their shirts, everyone was so impressed with the quality, and we started receiving orders from regions all over the state for our corporate apparel. And we started taking orders for hats, t-shirts, golf shirt sweaters, and brief bags. And from there, it just spread. I made samples of many of the items that were requested and took them to a catalog photographer and made a brochure from the picture. And I made up the price list and order form and sent it out to many of the surrounding area public safety offices. Officers from our area were moving into other areas, and before long we were getting orders from most of the regions in the state. Next came the Attorney General's office and the State Senate and Assembly. I mean, it was great. Each time one of these officers went to a conference or any type of function, they took corporate items with them and traded them. Now some of them traded patches, but the majority of them would trade hats and shirts. Now we only sold these items to police officers and their loved ones. They had to show their police or department IDs, and we kept a small stock of corporate wear on hand for some of the local departments so they could come in and pick up an item off the shelf and walk out with it. I even came up with a small ID card and had them laminated to give to the guys for their wives and parents and girlfriends so they could come in and purchase gift items for their own police officer. They loved it. Now you have very little competition with niche marketing. I did not have to worry about pricing or whether I was in line with the competition. They were not coming to me because of price. They were coming to me because of my quality and service. Of course it had to be a fair price. There is a limit to what someone will pay, regardless of what the service or the quality is. But in general, we had very little argument in the pricing area. And therein lies the beauty of niche markets, pricing, and profits. As sales in our niche market increased, we actually let go of some of our less profitable other accounts. Those sales required just as much work, but brought in a lot less money. Were there other embroiderers in our area? Yes, there were several of them. Did they try to copy us? Yes, to a certain extent, but they could not service that niche the way we did. And we're not willing to stock anything for them. And I did not carry much inventory, but I could turn around an embroidered golf shirt or hat in a couple of hours. I always had on hand black and navy golf shirts, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and black and navy caps. I knew what they wanted because I took the time to talk to them. I had them tell me what they wanted and how they wanted it, and then I went to work to give it to them. Actually, to me it was a no-brainer. It only made sense in more ways than one. Now this is the secret of having a profitable niche market. Find out what the customer wants, how they want it, and give it to them. It's that simple. You must stay in touch with them, make changes as the market changes, and be willing to work with them in whatever capacity that is necessary. You must develop your own little corner of the world in such a way that other people cannot penetrate it. Now this was a brief look of what niche marketing has done for me. Now don't turn around and start selling pillows and law enforcement logos because of my success. This may not be the market that would work for you or even would interest you. Take the time to research and develop a niche that will work for you. If you simply try to duplicate the efforts of others, you probably won't end up with the same results. Rather, you should use the experience and success of others to help you organize your thoughts and develop your own potential ideas that will work for you. Now, there's a whole world of opportunity out there just waiting to be discovered. Now, this is Joyce Jagger, the Embroidery Coach, and I want to thank you for watching this presentation. And please go to theembroiderycoach.com to see how I can help you become more profitable with your embroidery business. And you can email me any of your questions to Joyce@theembroiderycoach.com. Again, thank you.